You probably watched my other video on rubber stamps already, but photopolymer stamps have pros and cons too. If you want to learn my best tips for using them, stay tuned. This is Sage Kimball and I'm the Mad Stamper with another product and technique video for card makers and paper crafters. If you haven't seen the first video on rubber stamps and clear blocks, you can use the link provided to watch it. You can print this template out on vellum to help you determine which block you need for any given stamp. I'll provide that link as well. So photopolymer stamps have a lot of advantages. First, they're even less expensive than clear mount rubber stamps. For example, you can get this colorful seasons set of 24 stamps for only $27, while the clear mount rubber stamp set, Beautiful You, is $28 for only 13 stamps. A big plus, of course, is you can see through the stamps, which means you can usually position them without the Stamp-a-ma-jig. However, when I want precision placement, as with this beach chair, I can't always see through the stamp and the block to feel confident I'm going to get this in the right place. So I will use the Stamp-a-ma-jig in those instances. These stamps are very sticky and adhere to the clear blocks really well. Because they're so sticky, they also pick up dust easily, and then they won't adhere to your block securely. So my tip is to keep alcohol wipes in your craft room and wipe both sides of the stamp with the swab. It only takes a minute to dry, and then it will stick to your clear block quite securely. Photopolymer stamps have their downsides, of course. They stain, especially when using inks that are black or have red in them. This is purely aesthetic because it doesn't affect the quality of the image. More of a problem is that the image lines are not as deep as with rubber stamps. It can be difficult to get a clean image from a stamp with fine detail lines like this. A major drawback is the lack of foam cushioning that you have with rubber stamps. That means with fine line stamps like this, it's hard to get the center of the image to stamp clearly. My tip is to put foam under your work, like this Stampin' Pierce mat. This will provide some give so that the center will stamp as well as the edges. Another tip is to put a lot of pressure on the center of a stamp if you're having trouble getting the image. Because these stamps are so sticky, they sometimes stick to the cardstock. In that case, I hold the cardstock down while I peel the stamp off of it. I tested a few inks with this difficult stamp and found that black StazOn gave the worst results. The stamp just doesn't pick up the ink very well. Not only does the stamp stick to the cardstock, but the image may be light and spotty like this. And it was the same with black archival ink. I found that it helps to re-ink the pad so it's well saturated, and then to stamp the image as soon as you've inked the stamp. This image was done with Memento Tuxedo black ink, and that picked up plenty of ink and it didn't stick to the cardstock. So that would be my choice for a black ink with photopolymer. Stampin' Up! Die inks on a firm foam pad are so juicy that there was no problem with the stamp not picking up enough ink, and it didn't stick to the cardstock. With the older felt pads, which aren't as juicy, I did get spotty coverage the first time that I stamped. I re-inked it very well, and I remembered to put foam under the cardstock this time, and then I got a good image. I don't recommend black StazOn because it's a solvent ink, and the ink and the cleaner can possibly degrade the image lines on a stamp. There's not a clear consensus on this from what I researched, but since it doesn't work well with photopolymer, you might as well not use it. There you have it, my best tips for photopolymer stamps. I hope they'll help you get great results in your craft room. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and leave me a comment. For more inspiration and instructions, be sure to sign up for my newsletter at www.stampingmadly.com. Visit me on Facebook and Pinterest, and don't miss another great video. Subscribe to the Mad Stamper YouTube channel now.